You are 18 years old, kneeling on a concrete floor in a high school shop class, watching a bead of molten steel crawl across a piece of flat plate. The arc is too long, the puddle blows out. The instructor doesn't say a word. He just turns off your machine and shows you again. 23 years later, you sign a personal service contract with an offshore pipeline operator in the Gulf of Mexico. $199,000 a year, untaxed per diem on top. Between those two moments sits a trade where 457,000 Americans hold a stinger, and where less than 1% of them ever reach the top tier. This is every level of life as a welder, and what it actually costs to climb. If you like breakdowns of how careers actually progress, like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Level 1. The student. You're 18, and the hood costs $35 at Harbor Freight. The auto-darkening lens takes a quarter second to fire, just long enough to flash your eyes if you pull the trigger too fast. You learn that the hard way, on a Tuesday, and lie awake until 3 a.m. with what feels like sand behind both eyelids. You still show up at 7. The bottom 10% of U.S. welders earn under $38,130 a year. The starting wage at the 10th percentile is $17.71 an hour. The community college program near you runs 16 weeks and costs $5,940 in-state for the full AAS. You don't have that. You take the certificate track instead, $1,200 for the semester, 2 nights a week after your shift at the hardware store. The instructor is a retired pipe fitter named Gene who is missing the tip of his left index finger and has no patience for people who rush the puddle. He tells you there are 3 things that will get you fired on any job site: bad welds, bad attitude, and showing up late. You write it down. The AWS certified welder test on a flat plate runs about $500. You pass on the second attempt. The shop foreman hands you a stinger, points at a pile of 2-inch angle iron and says, "Tack those to print." You do. He doesn't say good. He walks away. You learn that walking away means good. Level 2, the shop welder. You're 22, on second shift at a structural fabrication yard outside of Beaumont. The median welder in America earns $51,000 a year. You earn $48,200, and you think you're doing fine. The shop runs to AWS D1.1, the structural welding code that governs almost every steel building going up in the country. Root, fill, cap, test the coupon, move on. You learn to read a weld symbol without the key. You learn that flux core runs faster and that submerged arc welds the plate you'll never see. You sit the D1.1 endorsement exam, $445 as a member, and you pass it clean the first time. Then, a Boilermaker recruiter walks the shop floor on a Friday afternoon. Ingalls Shipbuilding in Pascagoula is hiring at $28.50 an hour with a $10,000 sign-on. You drive down on a Monday. You see a welder strapped into a swing stage at 2 a.m., burning a vertical up groove inside a hole the size of a building. The recruiter asks if you can travel. You're back in Beaumont by Wednesday. You put in your notice on Thursday. Level 3, the road welder. You're 26, living out of a 24-foot trailer behind a truck stop in Port Arthur. The refinery turnaround runs 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, double time after 40, Sunday premium. The GSA per diem is $178 a day, untaxed. With per diem stacked on the rate sheet, the math is different from what the company posts. The gate test is 6G pipe, fixed at 45 degrees, all positions in one weld. First-time fail rate is 40 to 50%. You watch 2 welders ahead of you wash out on the bend coupon. You pull your hood. You burn the root with E6010 downhill, 2 passes per quadrant. The bevel goes glass smooth. The cap stacks like quarters. The inspector tags it without a word. They put you on the spread at $39 an hour. Your back holds. Your hands don't. You take 3,200 milligrams of ibuprofen a week and call it Tuesday. Your wife is in another state. The crew chief tells you he can put in a word at UA Local 798 in Tulsa. You buy the application that night for $2,000. Level 4, the pipeliner. You're 32, with a Lincoln SA200 strapped in the bed of an F350 600 miles from home on a right-of-way you won't find on Google Maps. UA Local 798 Journeyman Scale runs $57.85 an hour in the southern tier. The fringe stack adds $35.95 on top. Welder per diem is $165 a day, untaxed. Monthly take-home on a 6x10 schedule with rig rate and per diem runs around $32,000. To sit the 798 test, you logged 3,000 helper hours and 500 journeyman pipe gang hours. You submitted 5 journeyman recommendations in a stamped envelope. There are 3,400 welders in the local. Less than 1% of all U.S. welders ever get here. The project spec allows a 2 to 3% repair rate across the spread, roughly 5% per individual welder before they park you for 90 days without pay. On tie-in 31, the X-ray comes back with a sliver of porosity at 4 o'clock. You cut it out, you re-weld it, you wait. The marker post goes in the ground and you move to the next joint. The Trans-Alaska Pipeline cost $8 billion in 1977, and Local 798 made every one of its 65,000 mainline welds. The pipeline outlives every man who touched it. Your name does not appear on any of it. Level 5. The Inspector. You're 38. Your back is going. The orthopedic surgeon uses the word degenerative and hands you a pamphlet. You stop welding and start signing off on the welds of people who weld the way you used to. The AWS Certified Welding Inspector credential runs about $3,500 all in. The exam fee is $1,070 for members. The test has 3 parts. Passing requires 72% on each, and the first-time pass rate clusters between 25 and 40%. You fail the practical section on your first attempt, you sit it again 90 days later and pass. CWIs make $80,000 to $120,000 a year. Senior inspectors and Level 3 NDE examiners clear $150,000. You walk job sites now with a 10x magnifier and a fillet gauge. You write non-conformance reports on welders you came up with. They call you a clipboard. You take the joke, because the same code that governed your hands for 15 years is now the instrument you use to govern theirs. Level 6, the Saturation Diver-Welder. You're 31 and you went a different way when the road started aging you out. You paid $27,500 to the Divers Institute of Technology in Seattle for a 7-month commercial diving program. All in, with gear and the offshore medical, it cost $39,233. You logged 200 field days as a tender, 100 working dives, and 30 days of saturation support before the ADC card. The saturation chamber is 20 feet long and 7 feet across. You will live in it for 28 days. The last 5, you will not move. You will be decompressing. You breathe heliox at depth, so your voice sounds like a cartoon when it reaches the surface. The hot water suit dumps 4 kilograms of sweat per dive. Gulf day rates run $1,000 to $1,500 a day, plus depth pay of $1 to $4 per foot. A single 28-day saturation tour grosses $30,000 to $60,000. A veteran who lands 180 active days a year at $1,500 clears $270,000. There are roughly 336 saturation divers in the country. Of every 20 program graduates, around 1 is still doing this work 5 years later. The chamber locks. There is no rescue plan for the next 28 days, no matter what your body does. Level 7. The Owner. You're 58. You stopped welding 9 years ago. You bought a 12-truck rig fleet, then a fabrication shop, then a midstream contract out of Houston. You sit in bid rooms and talk in EBITDA multiples. Henkels & McCoy was founded by a welder family in 1923. They sold to Mastech in December 2021 for $600 million, roughly 8.6 times EBITDA on $1.5 billion in revenue. Performance Contractors out of Baton Rouge, founded by a welder named Art Favre in 1979, did $3 billion in revenue last year. You are not them, but you know the same arc. 49 welders died on the job in 2019. 31 workers died building the Trans-Alaska Pipeline between 1974 and 1977. 3 contract welders died on the Black Elk platform in 2012 when a stinger let a vapor pocket inside an unisolated tank. The gas detectors that should have been running were turned off. The trade replaces people constantly and quietly. The arc you struck on flat plate in a high school shop class when Gene was watching your puddle is the same arc that built the country's refineries, pipelines, bridges, and hulls. The difference between a weld that holds for 100 years and one that fails in 11 months is 3 seconds of attention at 4 o'clock on the cap pass. The pipe stays in the ground. Your name does not. That is the whole deal. Every welder who ever burned rod knew it and showed up anyway.